Today we got another Specialized Allez. Now I picked this one up yesterday. It's a nice red Specialized Allez and we got to get it ready for a bike flip. So in this video, you guys already know we're gonna run through the drivetrain, we're gonna run through the cables, we're gonna run through pretty much everything on this bike that I can think of. It's actually a 58. So believe it or not, it has a Shimano Tiagra, Shimano Claris. It's not like tourney level, but it's like not the top high-end Shimano, but hey, it works. If it works, it works. It also has a carbon fork here. We're gonna dive into this. You guys already know the deal. So I gotta get this bike ready for a flip. I've kind of already checked this bike out yesterday. I pumped up the tires with air last night to see if they hold. Sort of my way of finding out if there's any slow leaks in the tire. Don't want to surprise anybody. Pumped up the tires and the tubes seem okay. They're gator skins. These are Allez rims as well. So there's a pretty good, well, it seems like a mix and match of rims. This is a Allez rims. And then this seems to be like a different brand, Mavic. These are 700C 25C tires, 700C 25 millimeter tires. The brakes seem good. It just is a little bit dirty. The chain has a little bit of surface rust, and then that surface rust, that grime, later got onto the cassette. I can show you guys a video. It'll probably be up on the screen now. This is a size 58. It does have a little bit of some cosmetic scratches, but the paint seems to be intact, guys. So I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna try a different flow in this video. I'm gonna be taking you guys literally along with me and record my voice in the video instead of doing a voiceover. I've been doing voiceovers on my videos. I wanna try this format out. I'm gonna be recording and verbally explaining what I'm doing, and then I'm gonna be trying to wash and clean this on video as well over here on my desk. So come along with me as we tune this, clean it, and get it ready for another bike flip. Taking a closer look at this drivetrain right now, you guys can see that there is rust transferred over from the chain on the cassette, so we're gonna have to clean that. It's just a matter of degreasing it. And then there's also a lot of grease here on that rear derailleur. So we're gonna have to degrease it. We're gonna have to take that apart. So now if we take a closer look at these chain rings, now the chain rings are not in a bad condition. They also just seem to have, now this image is a little bit dark here. It is just a little bit deteriorated. Obviously not something new. This bike I think is from like 2013. But here are the pedals as well. I don't like these thick pedals. I don't like these flat thick pedals, but it flips pretty well because it just appeals to a broader audience there. The brakes seem to have a little bit of a, I want to say some type of like grime on it. Not grime, but like sort of this dry, like white, like coating on it. I'm gonna try to take that off as well. The frame, I really like it. It's a 58. It's an extra large frame. As you guys can see, a little bit of deterioration on the frame here with these paint chips. Now taking a closer look at the derailleur, or the shifters for the derailleurs, the rear derailleur and the front derailleur and the brakes, they seem to be okay, you know, a little spongy. We can probably lube up the cables there a little bit. The headset itself seems to be okay. It is smooth, it's not loose, it's not tight, it's not grinding. So there's no play in this when I set it down and I squeeze on the front brake. And the cables seem to be okay. Other than some cable fraying, so that's important to check. So again, here's a closer look at the Shimano Claris on the front here. Now the Shimano Claris is not top tier, it's not bottom tier, but it's like pretty low tier compared to Tiagra and like 105 and Ultegra. So, but that's okay, that'll still flip. this is how the bike came in, and I literally just set it on the stand. It's not bad, it's not in a bad condition, and it's obviously not in a new condition. But will it flip is the question, and I'm pretty confident it will. The carbon forks, what it does is it adds a little bit more comfort on the ride. So next step is going to be taking apart the bike, the chain, and getting a closer look at this, getting my hands dirty, and cleaning it. All right, guys? So I saw that this bike actually had a master link in here. So I don't need a tool here. Now this is a little trick, all right? So if you guys want to remove a master link without a link tool or some sort of thing, you kind of want to get it up like this. I don't know if you guys can see that. And you kind of want to you can just tap it, honestly. Let me stop this so less noise. But believe it or not, a master link, if you tap that enough, it'll just pop right off. You see that? So let me go get this bin here. We're gonna put the chain in this so I can clean it. Now, just by taking a closer look at this, I can already see that it is dirty and grimy. So I'm getting my hands a little dirty here, guys. So here is a closer look at this chain. Oh man. Yeah, that is grimy. So now I am going to be removing this rear wheel so that I can access the cassette and the derailleur. Now, it's a little bit tight. I think I played around with it yesterday. So just the fact that it's quick release is a lot easier. I've worked with these bolt-on. Okay, so here's a good reminder to always loosen the brake before trying to remove. This is the issue with, I wanna say it's not really an issue, it's just a thing with these bikes. And the thing is that this brake is like right on the money, man. Like, I'm gonna have to loosen it up by tightening the barrel adjuster here so that I can actually get it. And there it is. All right, so it wasn't too bad. Just a closer look at this cassette. I'm trying to get this in the shot here. So just a closer look at that. Man, that is a little bit grimy, isn't it? This camera is a little bit more cinematic than my phone camera. I like it, but I don't know how I feel about it because I want my shots to be clear. Can you guys see that? All right. We're gonna do it the old school way, and I guess there's no real old school way. It's just, it is what it is, right? So I'm gonna remove this quick release. Now there goes the little quick release top thing. Now the best way that I find, the easiest way, honestly, is just, there's no way around it. You just have to, easy way. Now, it's a bit tight. Now, I like getting this on camera because I usually don't record this part, but we're trying this new flow, man, and I think it's working pretty well. Now, if I can't leverage it like this, I think what I'm gonna end up doing, man, is just doing this. Now, I hope you guys can see that. But man, that is tight, man. That is on there tight. Now, I don't know who tightens this. I think the spec on these is supposed to be 45 Newton meters. Now, this has to be tighter than 45, dude. This is like way too tight, man. Oh man, there it goes. You heard that? Alrighty. Just like that, with this help of this huge freaking monkey wrench, dude, and this like cheap chain whip, like I'm able to just unscrew this lock ring. Now there's a lot of grime and grease because the thing is that you're supposed to grease it, but I want to get this in the right order. I don't know if it has like spacers. Okay, it does seem to be like one of these. So there's no spacers, but it's just these two, right? Because it's a 3 by, there it goes. So it's like a 3 by, I think 8. So if I can get that in focus, camera, come on. So yeah, we gotta have to scrub that and clean it, man. So let's get this wheel out of here. Now though, this hub is in a pretty good condition. I'm not gonna lie. Like, so we spray some WD-40 in there to get it to loosen up a bit. And then I'm gonna scrub it. This part is honestly a little tedious, and trying to record it as well and trying to get a good shot of it for my Instagram kind of takes some time. But hey man, so I'm just gonna place it in water afterwards. Or just scrub it off, scrub the grime off. And for really stubborn grime or really stubborn grease, what I tend to do is I hit it with some type of wire brush so that I can get it even off, even cleaner. But this process gets it like just as clean as if it was like, you know, like clean enough, man. Like if you take a look at this, there's gonna be grime on it now, so I'm not gonna show you like close up. But so as you guys can see, the cassette actually came out a lot cleaner than before, and it's even shiny. So I really think that a little bit of work goes a long way, just degreasing and cleaning. Like, I mean, it's not perfect, right? Honestly, I don't have a torque wrench on me, I'm not gonna lie, guys. But I think I kind of know what's too much at this point. So, like, you don't want to Hulk mode it. I don't know how to explain it, but you just want to get it like tight like that, and it's good like that. Like, you don't have to go too crazy. Now I'm just gonna remove this derailleur. Now I can see that the cable is frayed at the end, and it's already really short. Seeing the threading in there. Oh geez, there goes the tool, man. But I think that's a pretty good shot. You guys can see, I mean, I don't think I can get this off, right? Like this metal part. But as long as I can degrease the pulley wheels, and I'll be able to get a cleaner look on that, man. I'm trying to get that in focus for you guys. So before I continue, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the frame. Now I'm just using my trusty rag with some soap on it already. I think a lot of these flips just with some soap. I think the amount of grime that's on here isn't too bad. I always try to weigh out, for example, how much time I actually spend on one bike and the cost of labor. So with that into consideration, I think that just giving this a simple wipe down, same with that rear derailleur, I ended up just degreasing it. I couldn't get all of the little imperfections on it. Now, I think that from time to cost and the profit of doing this, like I couldn't take the front derailleur off and also clean that, man. But at this point in time, I think that just giving this a simple wipe down, making sure that it works, making sure that the customer is getting something that is good. It's not going to break, obviously. Something that functions. I think that's the important part here, and just realizing that I can go ahead and take down like everything, the headset, grease the headset, grease the bearings again in the hubs, and do everything again, right? But when you take into consideration the amount of time that I'm putting into each single bike, I don't think it's worth like that much. I mean, especially if you're selling it like used and it's in a good condition, like you don't need to go ahead and like take out every component and grease it. Obviously it would make for some really good content, but my rule is if it works, it works. Don't overwork myself, especially on a $200 bike, which is just gonna flip for like $100 more. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount the rear derailleur back onto the frame. Now for this, I just need to screw the derailleur back into the frame. And after wiping it down, it looks a lot better, guys. And the derailleur after, it does look a lot cleaner. I don't know if you guys can see that if my camera focuses. It has autofocus, but I don't know, man. I think you can tell by the pulley wheels, because obviously I mentioned this is like just old metal that just got like that. I don't know how to explain it, but in my experience, you can't really clean that unless you like sand it. Like, I'm not gonna sand it, but I did clean it a lot. So we're gonna mount it back on, and it shouldn't take too long. All I have to do is at this point in time, just screw it back on. Screw it in. I think what was tight before, and I think what's tight about it is the derailleur itself. It's not even that the threading is dirty or anything. It's just the actual like derailleur screw there. It's tight, man. So just take a moment to screw this back on. And once it goes in, it goes in. You don't have to torque it too tight, man. I think that's good enough. And one thing that I will have to do is probably readjust the tension on the derailleur and adjust and make sure that the shifting is good and aligned to the different positions of this derailleur. So I think that's good for now. Let's go ahead and mount this back on here. Oh man. All right, I think that's it right there. Now our duty is gonna have to be to try and pull this cable onto this derailleur with that much space, because I don't know if you guys you saw that, but this cable is just so short. But I think, I mean, it's already pretty stripped, dude. Like the cable fraying, it's already pretty frayed up, man. So as long as I can tighten it, man, it'll be good. You know what I'm talking about? And I don't want to damage that cable any longer. I'm probably going to end up putting a ferrule on it if I can. It's a little heavy. Just got to be careful putting this back on. But the key thing here is to get it through the brakes, because it was being annoying earlier. So there we go. So one thing I want to make sure of is that it's aligned inside the dropouts. That's like super important. And that it's not too... What would be good to mention is you always want to make sure that the derailleur hanger is aligned, and that the line of the alignment on the axis of the derailleur and the cassette are straight. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I think you do. But it's making sure that the derailleur is aligned with each individual ring on the cassette. Now, I did a little short on that. It kind of blew up, not really, but it did get a lot of views. So if you want to watch that, I might put a title card if I remember, but then I'll feed the chain through. Now, I did check already, it looks aligned, so it looks good. So just feeding the chain whip. Sorry, not a chain whip. What the heck? Dude, I have like my mind on like so many things right now. But working on bikes is pretty relaxing to me. So you don't want to push it all the way in. And then you don't want to like push it too much on the other side. I think I might have pushed it in too much on the other side. I don't know why. I think I need to get a new camera battery because I was recording this and like the actual camera was dying on me and I had already charged it up, dude. And yeah, man. See, I wish I had the master link. That thing would have just... Ring here now. I'm getting a little bit of chain rub on the cassette, or sorry, the front derailleur. And what I'm noticing is it's a little dry. I'm just shifting it. It's a little loud. Now this is the forbidden, this is the big in the front and the big in the rear. Or sorry, the big in the rear and the big in the front, yeah. So I'm gonna just shift it down to the small in the front and the big on the back. So it is shifting. It's just a little bit like it wants to get off of that. So one thing I'm gonna do is adjust the physical limits of the derailleurs and set them in place. On setting limits is going on the big in the front. I know I have to adjust the front derailleur a little bit, but here we go. So there might be a stiff link there that I'm noticing. So this is the high gear. Now the high gear is good. It's not too out and it's lined up right. So, but then when I shift into, I think it's just the extremes, like for example, it's because there's a cross chain there, a cross chain. So one thing I can do is loosen this up a little bit, the barrel adjuster, so that it doesn't do that. Although it's cross chain, so there's gonna be a little bit of, now I can see there's a stiff link in there, right? Right, I don't wanna overdo it, but I think that's good. I really do think that's good. So let's go ahead and adjust this rear derailleur. Now, sorry, this front derailleur, like I said, guys, I think I need coffee. It's a little bit too far. Now, one thing I like to measure in this case, one thing that I'm checking is how far the derailleur is from the chain when it's on both the lowest gear. Now there's always supposed to be a little bit of a gap in between the chain and the derailleur itself. Right there it's not rubbing, that's the good thing. And now if we go all the way out, I think I'm gonna have to loosen that up a little bit so it can go out a little bit more. And I'm gonna go down all the way on the rear. And it's gonna rub right now because it's on the rear. There's a cross line. So it's on two extremes right now. So it's like on the smallest in the front and then the smallest in the back is like two extremes, right? So now let's check the big one out here. Now for whatever reason, there's a stiff link in here. Hold on. I don't know why there's a stiff link, but for whatever reason, it's rubbing right now. One thing is for sure is I can remove this a little bit looser. One thing I might have to do is if there's a barrel adjuster on the front derailleur is maybe tighten it. I think I'm gonna have to tighten this barrel adjuster. Now, I can already tell you guys that this barrel adjuster up here is a little bit tight, and it seems like the housing in it is just seized. So I'm gonna go ahead and debug this. So I was able to fix the chain rub by loosening up the barrel adjuster. I think it's still rubbing just ever so slightly, man, and it's bothering me a little bit. I'm just gonna make sure that these chainring bolts are on there tight. I know they seem tight, but I always want to make sure that the chainring bolts are tight enough, because it could be chainring bolts, and the thing is, these are a little bit, they have a little bit of grime and surface rust on there, but they do seem pretty tight, I'm not gonna lie. And that ferrule is touching the tire. That's funny. So if you guys can see now, there's more cable tension, and there's a stiff link inside still. So I'm gonna fix that stiff link and then probably take photos of it, and I think that's it, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and lube the chain just ever so slightly, enough to where it's good, because it did get a little dry after the degreasing. A lot of different ways people lube chains. I honestly just run it on the top while I backpedal, and it usually works just fine like that. Now that stiff link is still there, but I think that's it, guys. Honestly, I didn't know if I was gonna have a video for this week, so I was trying to plan it. I didn't know if I had a bike to tune, and I was trying to plan a video to film, and I was thinking of one of these days I'm probably gonna make a video on how I source these bikes, because I do have a free beginner's guide to flipping bikes. It's on my landing page. If you guys want to check that out, feel free. It's completely free. There's no sign up or anything. You just download it. It's a PDF. But honestly, I was gonna say, if I didn't get a bike in this week, then I'd probably just make a video. But thank God I got a bike in this week. This morning I woke up to a bunch of people wanting to pick up. There was a little bit of bumping heads there on one of these, this other blue Specialized that I fixed. I think it was my last video that I literally just did. It took a minute to sell, guys, but literally, like, it all just stacked up. Like two people wanted to meet at the same time. And at that point, I was like, I didn't know who to serve, but the first person that messaged me, the first person that I was able to respond to was the person that I ended up just selling the bike off to. And the other person in this type of situation is like kind of tricky. Like, there's no way around it. You kind of just have to be nice and professional and not mix emotions into it, because if it's a competitive market, one person's just going to end up leaving a little bit disappointed because they wanted a certain bike. I don't know how to explain that, but all right. So that was the Specialized Allez. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I think it came together pretty well. I like the hub on this, sort of like this other Allez I flipped last week, this week actually. It has nice components. It does have a little bit of a frayed cable that I had to fix. It had some of the issues I encountered. Well, there was no issues really. It was just a cleaning and a tuning. Other than the frayed cable, that's pretty basic. No major issues. The headset was good. The shifting was good. The frame is good. And I think now it's just a matter of putting up the, before and after pictures. So here's the before pictures of the bike. And as you guys can see, it was just dirty, right? Nothing major. And now the after pictures. So these are the pictures that I'm gonna be posting up. As you know, if you're ever in town and you need a bike, you guys can message me on IG, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. But those are the marketplace photos. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video and the new format. I definitely enjoyed making this type of content. I thank you guys for the loyal watchers that watch in and out, day and week out. I thank you guys for all the support on the reels. And I really am excited. As I've been saying, this has been a start of a pretty big journey. I feel like a good potential to be a big journey. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I know best, keep sourcing. Like I said, I might make a video on how to source bikes and take you along the journey, or I might not. I like this bike mechanic perspective already. So I'm gonna keep sticking to what I know best, sourcing good bikes, putting them up on this channel, and this is all to document for my process and my life, and to be able to look back at these videos and say, hey, I did this. So thank you again for all the loyal subscribers, all the loyal likes and comments. If you guys have any questions on this, hey, would you guys ride this bike? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that notification bell for new videos every week, and subscribe if you guys want to be and come along on the journey with me. Now, I've been contemplating getting a garage, but I think this room is working pretty well. I'm not sure. I think my mind tries to overthink and go ahead of the game right now. I think this is enough for these videos. So thank you guys for watching. Again, I cannot say that enough. I've repeated myself like 3 or 4 times, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right?